Hey Radiant Souls, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome for the first time. My name is Heather. It's so nice to see you and spend some time with you. And thank you for being here, not just in this video, but on the planet at this time. Being you, it's so important. I want to share today something that I initially saw as part of one of my one-on-one appointments where my beautiful client and I were speaking about and exploring the topic of judgment. And at that time, my team of guides showed me this thing that looked kind of like a math equation. And that was a few days ago, and I've expanded on it, worked on it a little bit, and I really want to share it here because I think judgment is something that a lot of us wrestle with or know that it should be on our radar, look out for performing it or doing it or experiencing it. And I just want to share this in case it helps you contextualize it or give a little visual for it for yourself. So that's why I have a chalkboard, markers at the ready. What the team was showing me was if you consider your authenticity, being in a state of flow, feeling grounded, everything is just beautifully aligned and in your flow, that would be like an equal sign. So that's us. And if we want to picture us sitting in the middle of that equal sign, that's probably a little small. Let me try to make that a little bigger. Equal sign, us in the middle. When we are looking around, if we consider we're here and we're looking out and we're measuring something, this group of people versus that group of people, this world event versus that world event, this ideology versus that ideology, we're kind of saying less than or greater than, that's what those are. Out there, we're looking to measure something and compare it and rank it and sort it out. And when we do that, we're out of our flow state. Same thing applies if we're in our equal sign. We're in the flow, we're vibing, things feel aligned. But then we apply judgment to ourselves. And those pointy parts of the less than or greater than come within. We are measuring ourselves in comparison to something else. We're pointing a finger at ourselves. Also, out of our flow. If you hear my dog, he's super amped about this. He's barking in the next room. What they suggest is that we change the equation, and that's the words they were sharing, change the equation so that we're still in the center, in our flow. And they're saying, consider this your perspective. This is like a lens, a camera lens that you're looking through. And rather than being less than or greater than or things, you're measuring yourself up against something else, or you're measuring others against anything, just have that be at an equilibrium. Doesn't take you out of your flow, keeps you grounded, helps you stay stable and centered. And then they were kind of showing, and you'll have to forgive my rudimentary drawing here. They're saying that then becomes your camera. You can pick, that's the flash. This is an analog old school camera. The flash, the lens, that becomes how you see the world. And with that same perspective, not only do you see the world more clearly, but you see yourself more clearly. You change the focus. So I want to bring through a channeled message from the team as well to support this message. And then I'll be back with a couple of things at the end. But I also want to say, if you are someone who feels that the issue or topic of judgment is coming up for you a lot recently, one of the things that I also feel is it's very prevalent in our world right now. It's an energetic template that is kind of installed in all of us. And we get triggered into the habit of it, but we can uninstall it. So if that feels like something you are ready to work on or would love to contribute to for the collective, I would love to personally invite you to my upcoming class, Gathering with the Guides, where we're going to work on a few different energetic templates, judgment being one of them. Not just to learn how we connect in with our support, our team of guides, our spirit helpers, but also marshaling all of those resources, everyone in the class, all of their guides, my team of guides, collectively sitting in sacred circle. It's an online class, but sitting together in that energy to work on these templates for ourselves and for the collective. So if that sounds interesting to you, check out the link in the box below. But let's look at the channeled message too, and I'll be back in a couple minutes. Enjoy. Hello, bright and beautiful beings. We would love to speak to you today on the topic of judgment, for many of you are intimately acquainted with it. Many of you beckon it into your lives almost as a comfort, as a way to define yourself, perhaps isolate yourself, perhaps give yourself a boundary condition in which you can then self-soothe. If someone is different than I am, I need not include their perspective. If something is scarier than I would like it to be, I may withdraw my attention from it. If I do not measure up to something, then I can divest that part of myself and not lean in and not develop. Some of you are using judgment as a permission slip in that way. And we understand how that is seated on your planet at this time and how that feels within your energy body to do that. There is safety in saying, this is a yes, this is a no. And through that lens of measurement is how I am able to make that determination. But we would say this is a time on the planet when the energies are such that judgment is coming up and up and up, and it will be something that you will see presented to you in a way that maybe you have not seen in many years. And if you do not become better acquainted with it from a perspective of, I see what it truly is for me, then you may struggle. It truly can be a way in which you perceive a place in your life where you can expand. If you are judging another as being better than you, having more than, doing something larger than you, flip that around and say, okay, where can I step up? Where am I selling myself short? Where have I pressed pause when I needed to press play? And feel into whether or not that judgment that you are seeing of another is really a reflection of yourself. And then use it as a tool, use it as a leverage, use it as a fulcrum from which you can then be better balanced. Understand that what it is that you judge will grow until it consumes so much energy that you have to deal with it. So seeing it early, catching it when it is small, when it is just a tiny little whisper for you, and addressing it then will be very beneficial for you. We thank you for your continued presence and the work that you are doing on this planet. You are so very important and so needed, and you are such beautiful, bright, and luminous beings. Thank you for your time and attention. Be blessed, dear friends. So one more thing I want to leave you with today is it wouldn't be my team of guides if they didn't break down a word into an acronym or something. And they did with judgment as well, specifically the word judge. So we get to go back to the chalkboard. Yay! Judge, as in just understand. This is almost like an ASMR video, isn't it? It's designed to grow energetically. So breaking down the word judge of judgment, just understand when we're judging something, we're investing energy into it. We're growing it. I'm just picturing like the Pillsbury Doughboy, or putting something in the oven and seeing a beautiful muffin start to grow. That's what we're doing. When we're judging something, we're like essentially popping it in the oven and letting it grow, letting it expand. And you're going to continue to encounter it over and over and over again until you disengage or pull away from that judgment. And you may see it in yourself. You may see it in others. The universe will make sure you encounter it somehow. So when you can learn to repattern, reprogram, disentangle from that template of judgment, it's really helpful, because if you're freeing up that energy where you were entangled in judgment, you can apply it to so many other things for yourself that are more positive, moving in a better direction, keeping you in your flow, keeping you in your authenticity. So that's it for today. Thanks for watching. Leave me a comment below. Let me know if judgment is showing up for you in your world and where you're watching from. And thanks so much again for spending some time here, and I'll see you next time. Take care. Bye.